Oriire Funowo. Good tidings to you. I pray that you are feeling awake, aware, and elevated in mind, body, and spirit, wherever you are and whatever may be happening around you. Ashe, Ashe, Asheo. I am Baba Umar, Oluranse Emese, voice of the MSA, member of the Isoro Traditional Council of Chiefs, Oluwo of the House of Umar, and Babalao of Ile-Ife Orisa. Let me thank you again for joining us for another video lesson. Let me invite you once again to click on the links below to become a subscriber. Click on the notification button to stay up to date, and share this video series with whomever you feel, family members, friends, associates, and anyone you feel may benefit from this wisdom. And also, please remember to click the like button if that's your heart speaking. Click the like button so that you can communicate with YouTube's algorithms. When the algorithm sees more likes, it says, oh, people are liking this video, so they give the video series more prominence on the YouTube news feed. So that helps us to reach more people, and we thank you for that. Ashe, Ashe, Asheo. So this, I mentioned in my previous video that I was going to do a special series of videos for you. My Oriire said, no, don't make it a series. I had mentioned that it would be 7 or 8 or 9 videos to complete what I wanted to complete for you. But my Oriire said, no, put it all in one video. That way it'll be more convenient, easier for the viewers to be able to go get the entire benefit of the series in that one video. And it's not going to be that long to go through it. And therefore it's going to be better for me to just put everything into this one video. So this video that I'm doing now is the introduction, the introductory piece to Titayo Itenumo. Titayo Itenumo means Transcendent Affirmations. And so we're talking about the 16 keys to Titayo Itenumo, Transcendent Affirmations. Before we get into those 16 keys, let me read a few verses from the Sacred Oracle Eji Ogbe Meji, the first Odu in the Sacred Oracle of Orunmila. You may remember in one of my most recent past videos, we talked about Eji Ogbe and how Eji Ogbe came to be first. Remember, Eji Ogbe was the small guy among the Orisa, and he was kind of bullied and, kind of pushed to the background, kind of taken advantage of, humiliated, we might say. And nonetheless, Olofi-dumare ended up raising him to the level of the most prominent among the Odus, giving him the position of being the first Odu. And so the series that we're talking about, or the video that we're talking about, this Transcendent Affirmations, is intended to do the same thing for you and for me, to give us the tools to be able to elevate ourselves from a position of inferiority to a position of advancement, transformation into better versions of ourselves. Let me begin with this reading from Eji Ogbe. Orunmila said, and I quote, "It is human beings who become Orisha. Ifa knows that it is human beings that become Orisha. Ifa said, Oduduwa, who you see, he was human when he did good on earth. After his death, we always remember him. Orunmila said, it is human beings who become Orisha. Ifa knows it is human beings who become Orisha. Ifa said, Osaka, Oshero Magbo, who you see, he was human when he did good on earth. After his death, we always remember him. Orunmila said, "It is human beings who become Orisha." Ifa knows that it is human beings who become Orisha. He said, "Shango, who you see, he was human when he did good on earth. After his death, we always remember him." Orunmila said, "It is human beings who become Orisha." Ifa knows that it is human beings who become Orisha. Ifa said, "He himself was also human when he was wise and did good on earth. After he had gone to heaven, when the people of the world did not see him, they started remembering him. They did not forget the advice that he left behind. So it is human beings who become Orisha." Ashe, Ashe, Asheo. Titayo, transcendent. What do we mean by that? Transcendent implies to go beyond or above the range of normal or physical human experience. As I think about that, I ask myself, well, what is normal? For those of us who have come up in this Western cornucopia worldview, normal is a state of inferiority for many of us. Black, brown, Native American, people of color in general, we've been given a message from the society that has put us in a position of mental inferiority. So the word normal here applies to a condition that is not really normal for us as human beings. Remember the verse that I often repeat. I love these verses because it puts things into perspective for us. Awa gege bi eniyan, awa ni Olo-dumare yan, lati lotun Ile-Ife, enia yaniwa. We as human beings, we are the God's elect, designated to renew the world. We are the chosen ones. Okay, so that is what is normal for us, not the condition that so many of us are living under, having been subject to the false teachings, the false indoctrination of Western culture about people of color and human beings in general. Transcendent means surpassing the ordinary. It means being extraordinary or exceptional. We can use words like superhuman, supernatural, mystical, spiritual, superior, supreme, ascendant, magnificent. Transcendent means of God or existing apart from or not subject to the limitations of the material universe. And here we're talking about the limitations of false social and societal programming. We want to get beyond that. That's what I'm hoping to do, to help you to accomplish with the video that I'm going to do for you. Itenumo. Affirmations. What are we talking about? Affirmation implies the action, the act, or the process of affirming something to be true. It's a formal or emphatic declaration of the truth. Affirmation means the presence of emotional support or encouragement for someone or something, including ourselves, including yourself. It's the psychological process of reaffirming personal values to protect your self-identity based on the realization that you have the right to define and to defend yourself. Affirmation means a form of prayer that focuses on a positive outcome. We're also talking about a way of creating meaning and knowledge for ourselves rather than relying on others, especially those who have acted as enemies towards us. So what I'm going to give you now are 16 science-based facts, keys, to be able to benefit fully from the Transcendent Affirmations video that I'm going to produce for you. Okay, so we'll go through them quickly, briefly. And it's not that these are the only keys, but they're certainly, as I see it, some of the most significant keys to benefiting from the video that I'm going to do. 1. The Oriire have residence in our bodies. The Oriire dwell within us. You kind of get a hint of that from the verses of Eji Ogbe that I read. But you maybe have also seen that chart, this chart, I guess, because I'll be putting it into the video, that has an image of the human body, the various organs and whatnot of the human body, and shows the name of the different Orishas that are associated with those different parts of the body. So in a very real sense, the Oriire live, they have residence in our bodies, governing different parts of our bodies. The organs, the functions, the energies of our Ojubo, our body temple, are associated with and governed by various Oriire. Number 3, the heart is the strongest bioelectrical and magnetic generator in our Ojubo, in our body temple. The heart. The heart generates stronger electromagnetic fields than our brains do. Number 5, the heart is 5,000 times more powerful magnetically than our brains are. Think about these things. I want you to think about that. I hope you'll go back over this video and go back through these 16 keys and really take the time to sit and to think about it and to realize the magnificence of what we're talking about here. The heart is 100 times stronger electrically than our brains. We always think like this is what's happening, and certainly Ori is important, but not Ori simply in the sense of head, Ori, the word Ori, head. When we say Ori means head, yes, it means head. But when we're talking about Ori, we're talking about something that goes far beyond, this skull and the gray matter that's inside of it. We're talking about consciousness. Consciousness goes far beyond simply the head. Okay. Number 7, by communicating with and from our heart, we can change the energetic blueprint of our Ojubo, of our body temple, and the 3-dimensional time-space reality of the matrix, meaning we can affect ourselves, our physical self, and the external world when we can communicate from our heart space in connection with our mental processes. Number 8, the unified field, the divine matrix, is Orisun, source, the realm of infinite possibility, and it is consciousness or the divine mind of Olofi-dumare. Understand this. When scientists today are talking about the unified field, and you'll hear some of the more esoteric scientists talking about the divine matrix, what they're talking about from the perspective of Ifa, from the perspective of our way of looking at the world, they are talking about the consciousness, the mind of God. Ashe, Ashe, Asheo. Quantum entanglement implies that everything is connected to everything else. And these again, you can go back and you go over this video and do some research on some of these ideas, some of these concepts that I'm putting forth here. And the research is there. You can find this out. Again, this is scientifically based facts that you and I can plug into, get a better understanding of ourselves, and therefore benefit more from the video presentation that we're going to do for you on Transcendent Affirmations. The heart is 40,000 times, well, let me put it this way. The heart has 40,000 sensory neurons or brain cells, and therefore it is a thinking organ. Yes, the brain is a thinking organ, but the heart is also a thinking organ. It has an independent brain, separate from the brain in our head. The heart communicates with every organ in the body, including the energy centers that we refer to as chakras. It communicates with the chakras, it communicates with every organ in the body, and it communicates with the brain. In fact, number 13, more information is sent from the heart to the brain than from the brain to the heart. It is the heart that instructs the brain about how to regulate the body. That's powerful. The heart. We regulate the heart through our thoughts, our feelings, our emotions, and our beliefs. That gives us a lot of control over what happens with our body and what happens in our outer world, in the environment. Number 15, gratitude, compassion, appreciation, caring, forgiveness, and similar feelings and emotions are powerful heart regulators. We can influence the energy of the heart. We can connect the energy and the functioning of the heart to the functioning and the energy of the brain when we tap into those emotions and feelings like gratitude, compassion, appreciation, caring, forgiveness, and similar feelings and emotions. And last but not least, number 16, heart-brain coherence occurs when we meditate from the heart. So when we go into meditation, we should not just do meditation like we're coming from here, like it's all happening in the head. We should certainly visualize, breathe into. When we breathe, we should breathe as though we're breathing into the heart. We should be mindful of the heart when we're in the process of meditation, so that we can fully connect both the brain and the heart and tap into the great power that is there for us to experience and to move the world, our inner world and our outer world. Now let me give a quick overview of how the video on Transcendent Affirmations will proceed. With each chakra, I will first say the chakra, what it's associated with in the body. I'll mention the name or names of the Orisa that are associated with that chakra. I'll say the focus of that chakra. How, what energy plane, what energy matrix does that particular chakra focus on? I'll say something about the location of that chakra in the body. I'll mention the color of the chakra, what color is associated with that particular chakra. I'll say something about the quality of that chakra. Life force, will to live, mastery of fear, whatever, the quality of that particular chakra may be. I'll mention the sound of the chakra, and I will repeat, intonate the sound 3 times, and I want you to do that with me as we're going through the video. I want you to intone the chakra sound with me, and when you do that, this is one of those points again where we reinforce the heart-brain coherence. You should, when you intone the sound, you should feel it vibrating from down deep into your belly, up through your heart space, and up into your head. The vibration of the sound should radiate through your body. Look for that. Reach for that. And I will give you an affirmation associated with that particular chakra. Then I will give you a number of transcendent affirmations. It may be 7, it may be 10, depending on the chakra. The number of transcendent affirmations will vary, but I'll go through a list of transcendent affirmations. I'll say them, rhythmically, but hopefully slow enough for you to be able to recite the affirmation along with me. As I say it, you say it. I want you to own it as your own. Don't think, that, Baba Umar this is him saying this about him. What I want and what I'm hoping will happen is that you will own what's being said, so that it is you saying these things about you. And again, each of the statements that we say, it's intended to take old ways of thinking about yourself and to replace them with new ways of thinking about yourself, to overwrite old programming about your inferiority, about what you can't do, what you can't accomplish, whether your lack of worthiness, your lack of power, your lack of purpose. We're going to override that. The things that I'm going to say, that we're going to say together, are intended to eliminate all that negative programming that you and I have been subject to. I came up in the 50s and the 60s and born and raised in Harlem, New York. So as a black man coming up, young black guy coming up in Harlem, New York, in this racist society, I was subject to all that negative programming that many of you have been subject to. So know that we're in this together. I've invited you from the very beginning. I said, let's take this journey together. And so I continue that invitation to you. Let's take this journey together. Let's do this particular thing and the rest of the lessons that we provide. Let's go through them together, step by step, bit by bit, internalizing the wisdom of Ifa. This particular video that I'm going to do is intended to clear away some of that old way of thinking, some of that old baggage, some of that old programming. So as we take in new information, clear wisdom from Ifa, it doesn't get contaminated by these old ways of thinking. I hope that's clear. I hope that you get something out of this particular video, and I certainly hope that you get something more out of the video that we're going to be doing for you, and that'll be coming up very, very soon. Ashe, Ashe, Asheo. Homage to the one who sends, and to those who are sent. Homage to Orisa and Egun. Ki Olofi-dumare, Orisa, ate Egun, fifune ni Itona imoye ati Oriire. May Olofi-dumare, Orisa, and ancestors bestow on you guidance, wisdom, and abundant blessings. Ifo Kanbale, peace of mind from Olofi-dumare. Ajo lo, ajo bo. We go out together, we return together. Ashe, Ashe, Asheo. And let me just mention, I won't be doing PDF scripts for this video that's coming up, or for this one. You'll see it on the playlist, and I'm hoping that you'll go back and review the material online. Certainly go back and use the Transcendental Affirmations. Use that video, the Titayo Itenumo. Use that video as a daily practice, if you will. I mean, go back at least several times a week. Go back and go through it over and over and over again until you really begin to internalize the messages that are there for you. Peace and love. Be well. Ashe. Ashe. Asheo.